Welcome to the bdussy podcast.
Okay, it did get funnier.
Fuck you. Gotta do a double take up a lot.
Yeah, probably. With today's talking point, well, before that, I should say that we might have a special guest on today's podcast. It's a guy that I know occasionally well. The funny thing is, I didn't know his name until today.
That's one way to meet somebody. Could be murder.
Could be a murderer. To be honest, I'm pretty sure I knew his name, I just forgot it. But if he wants to say his name, he totally can. It really just depends on if he is going to be on tonight. Anyway.
That reminds me. Have you ever noticed, sorry, this is a random thought, that guys never know each other's name until somebody says it?
Yeah.
Like, you will have no clue who somebody's name is. You'll talk to them every single day. You'll just call them hey or bro. Until somebody finally says a name.
Well, yeah, but if you're in a group, you're going to be like, hey, you, dude, bro,
Hey, you, the faggot.
you was a dude I've been talking to for a month. Well, I'm break. Like, what's your name? But yeah, that's how I met this guy. I met him while either on break or right after work. I went over to the shop he works at, and and I just started talking to him, and I was literally just waiting on a ride for maybe 30 minutes, an hour, and we just talked that entire time. And ever since then, either if I got off work early, or if I'm on my break, I just sit over there and talk to him. And time flies when from someone that's actually a little bit funnier.
Fuck you.
You're just annoying. Anyway.
So are you. That's why we're friends.
True. But anyway, do you want to tell them the talking point, or do you want me to?
The talking point today is technology.
Doesn't really matter what type of technology, just
technology.
technology.
Knowledge.
Also, speaking of technology, not like, well, it's going to be on the phone and on the computer and on every other device that can host YouTube. But did you see the comment on our first podcast?
No, wait, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, look it up real quick.
I haven't seen the comment yet.
Okay.
Is it a good comment or is it just
No,
random?
it's basically a pyramid scheme comment. At least the first one I saw.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's gonna be trippy.
Yeah, that's another type of technology that we can talk about today.
Yeah.
Scam calls and,
I need to subscribe just so it's easier to find.
no. Literally, I can see the link. Oh, so many.
Or I could just save it. I could just save the video to a playlist.
Yeah. I just sent you the link.
Maybe I have 13 views.
Oh, well, I just sent you a link. Anyway. Might try to call him again in like 10 to 20 minutes. He's not available. But,
That is... That's a bot. That's not a real thing.
yeah, I know, it's a scam thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's what I was talking about. That's what I was saying. Like, we had another talking point, and there is definitely some sort of soap inside of this. It's either bleach or something else.
Yeah, I think so.
You taste it?
Yeah.
Okay. This technology sucks, by the way. But
Did you ever get Jay to get you to try the new pods?
what?
Jay.
Oh, sorry. I got really confused with that. I forgot.
We just do that. We just do initials.
I mean,
if we need to. It'd probably be
We could
easier.
probably just make random names for each other.
True. You didn't hear
John, yeah. John, Jacob,
this. Jeremy.
yeah, sure. This dude can be Jeremy. Probably gonna be a little confusing to him.
Jemima.
Jemima.
Just all the names are J's.
Jacob.
We should do that.
I already forgot mine.
Fuck, what was it? I know mine was Jacob.
Okay, Jeremy, Jacob, and Jerome over here.
Jabron.
Jabron. Okay, if y'all don't know the context of this,
No, this is
but
before.
what were we doing? Were we watching something?
No. Okay, so I was playing the game.
Look it up. You won't remember it. I know you.
It's A Plague Tale: Innocence, and we
Where
have
do you see it?
right there.
Right. Oh, I'm blind. Anyway.
Well, okay, so we decided to get a little high. We weren't like out of it, but no, we were. There's a dude's name, and it started with a J, and for some reason,
Father
I was trying to say
Jethlehem or something.
Jethlehem.
Like Jethlehem.
Oh no, it was the fucking alchemist. That's who it was. His name.
They were talking to the priest about the alchemy.
Yeah.
Or the doctor, as they said.
But basically, I was trying to say LeBron, but my mind saw a J and said Jabron.
No, it wasn't just that. It was that
names.
I was saying Jerome, and he was busting out laughing, and then you said LeBron Jones, James.
LeBron Jones.
Yeah, he said LeBron Jones, not Jones. Jones.
LeBron
And
Jones
I went,
is the blackest and whitest name ever.
LeBron Jones. He's just mixed.
LeBron Jones Smith.
Hello, John.
Just Lil Jon.
Hello, John. That's
Do
gonna be the next rapper, I bet.
you want to do that?
What? Oh, definitely not.
Why?
You know why.
Yeah, true.
We're not gonna be talking, we're just gonna be giggling the entire time. Did you see the lights flicker? Must be seeing things. You're technically not seeing things. I'm gonna give it maybe 5 more minutes before we try to call him again. But
Jerome.
Jabron. So what type of technology do you want to talk about right now?
Okay, so actually, I saw a comment. I was on TikTok the other day. I saw a comment on a video of a train. Was basically it had gotten derailed. It was going through a city. It was one of those tracks passes that goes through a city.
Yeah.
Well, basically, this train had gotten derailed off of it and went over a curb. Well, I was looking through the comments and somebody had commented, "It's amazing to think that we went from sticks and stones to something that can move like millions of tons from sticks and stones."
Yeah, I get what they're trying to say, but it sounds like, I mean, we went from one thing, we're here. Like, have you seen that, it's either TikTok or YouTube video where it's like, no, it was from, I think it wasn't Family Guy, it was American Dad, where Roger said, with these sticks, these rocks, this wrap something, and my bubble gum, I can make an AR-15. And
Fucking MacGyver
pulls out
that
a fully loaded AR-15 and starts blowing people down. And that's what it sounds like when I think of sticks and
MacGyver shit.
It definitely does, but that's what I think about when...
Every survival movie ever. Stick, stone, gum, duct tape, fucking AR.
Projectile launcher. Anyway.
Just pulls out a nuke.
This isn't Fallout 4!
It could be.
I don't want a 4th Fallout.
There are 4 Fallouts. You stupid idiot.
Technology!
You mean a 6th?
No, because wait, how many nuclear bombs have been detonated in cities? I was thinking of that, not the game.
Oh, are you talking about in cities alone or just in general?
Like in this world, in cities that have killed people. I'm not talking about plants or anything.
I think 4. Because
We don't need a fifth.
because there's Hiroshima, there's Nagasaki, there's one in Russia, and I think there's one more in Russia. It was a carrying mishap or something. I can't remember exactly.
Wasn't that a Chernobyl though?
Actually, okay. So in my opinion, I kind of count Chernobyl as a nuclear mishap, or it is technically a nuclear mishap, but I wouldn't say it's a fallout almost.
It's definitely a fallout.
It is, but it also isn't. Because have you seen what it looks like now? They have a whole shelter built over it to contain the radiation now.
No, I have not seen that.
Like,
Is it like a dome over the entire city of
They
Chernobyl?
no, it's just over the factory. So what they did was scientists had started building a huge building to go over Chernobyl. The only thing that sticks out is they put a cut in at the top so that they didn't have to build it quite as tall. But basically, they built it, I think it was 500 feet away or something like that, or it's about 1,000 feet away. They built this up and they had it on tracks and they rolled it into place and locked it in. And it's used so that students from nuclear companies, nuclear physics, all that can go in there and look around. Granted, yes, the elephant's foot is still shut down because that shit's gonna kill you in a matter of minutes.
No matter what you have on.
Yeah.
That thing will eat straight through that and through you.
But the upper layers, I think it's like floors 5 through whatever the top layer is, are accessible because it's not as radioactive. It's a low, but it's like it's about as radioactive as it gets outside in the city itself. And I think it is technically, I would call it a nuclear fallout because of the fact that, yes, there are people still living there.
Actually, they made it illegal to live in. Like,
No.
before they put the dome over,
No.
it was technically illegal to walk within the city.
No,
unless
it's actually
you lived
a
there
tourist
before.
spot now.
Huh?
It's actually a tourist spot now. As long as you don't get too close,
Yeah.
you can go there, but they highly recommend you don't because of the radiation. But if you do, they severely recommend a Geiger counter.
Yeah, but before they opened it back up, there'd be tour buses. You would only be able to get off for restroom breaks. And when you did, they would have to like actually watch you. If you tried to run, there would be like 3 people for like each person.
Yeah.
So the bus would be full of like maybe 6 people. And there would probably be like 20 people on the bus just to keep an eye on you. And somebody recorded it, and they got through the security somehow. Don't know how, but they did somehow. And they went through the city. It was barren. The only thing there was maybe flies, roaches, and a few small animals that were able to withstand the radiation for so long.
Well, see, what happened with Chernobyl is it wasn't an explosion.
No, it was a leak of radioactive
Basically,
material.
what it was is the cooling cores got jammed to where they couldn't cool it, and it melted through, I think it was like 20 feet of concrete in the cooling chamber. And it melted, and it just keeps going and going and going. Actually, I've read up on it. Chernobyl is supposed to be reactivating again the elephant's foot, because what's happening is all the basically the radioactive material that's stuck at the bottom.
Yeah.
As it's eating through that concrete, it's creating more heat as it's going through.
So basically making it into a thermal plant.
Basically, but it's starting to become more radioactive as well. It's negligible right now, but supposedly in about 500 years, it's supposed to be as radioactive or more radioactive than it is or was when it originally happened.
So it will be more unstable
Yeah.
as time goes on. So
Basically.
it would be able to possibly detonate on its own over time.
Possibly, because basically it's still eating through that concrete that's going down, but it's cooled down enough right now to where it's stopped, but it's moving at like millimeters a day or so. But as it moves through, it's taking that concrete in because of the top layer being hardened over from it cooling. The top layer is cooled off as much as it can be, but the inside is still being compressed by all that. And as it's taking in all that,
mass.
yeah, it's slowly getting more and more dense to the point it's starting to heat up again.
It's kind of like, I guess you would compare it to like suns or planetary systems, where if something hits it, either grows or multiplies.
Yeah.
And it would possibly begin to turn into like a black hole where it eats everything it sees.
Yeah.
Or touches, technically. To where... And just to mind you, we are not smart human beings. We're just thinking this off the top of our head.
Well, I've read up on some of this.
Yeah, he's read up on some of this. Maybe for 2-3 hours? Maybe at the very most a day?
Yeah.
And we're both teenagers.
Well, I'm almost 18.
Yeah, he's almost 18. He's almost the legal age to... That's 17. That's
consent. But legally, like, for services, it's 18. I
don't think you can give those types of services.
Get is what I'm saying.
I don't know. Anyway, he's almost 18. I'm, 2 years younger than you? No, a year younger than him.
Yeah.
I'm 16, fixing to be 17.
Yeah, because she's 2 years.
Yeah. But we're not smart by any means. We just read up on stuff, and we just blurt stuff that we've either heard or we're really interested about.
Hyperfixation. We never posted that video.
What video?
The one from last night, because we had to delete it. The whole point about ADHD. Oh wait, no, was that?
That was the first episode.
Oh, was?
Yeah, because we talked about the hive mind.
Oh yeah,
and how it would actually, going back to that was technically technology that we were thinking about.
Yeah, that was just extremely advanced technology.
But what if we already created it? What?
Your arm.
Aw, shit. Here we go again.
You just messaged me in a few days and you're like, dude, I think I have schizophrenia. That's not what it is.
That's not what it is, man. If y'all don't know what he's talking about, in the last episode, we were talking about how I was going to get a shot tomorrow. It being the COVID vaccine. And I got my first shot today, and I'm going back in on the 19th. Today is, the 29th? Well, technically at recording time, it's 12:17, aka midnight, and it's the 30th.
Of July.
Why'd you always lie? Technology.
Knowledge.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Your vaccine.
Yes.
You have water.
No. Okay, I need water. Let's get her up and finish that. I'm parched. If you don't know, he just asked me for his water, and I handed it to him, and I said, if you could hurry that up, I'm really parched.
Stop being lazy, you'll get it yourself.
You see? No.
No, that's a bad idea, because I'd be in here singing to myself.
Oh, yeah, you'd probably, say several people's names and just not know it. But, what if we already created that technology, and it's... you know how we were talking about it would create, mental...
illnesses?
Yeah, mental illnesses would take over and become technically computer viruses.
Yeah.
What if we've already created it, and it's already starting to do that to us?
Isn't ADHD slowly growing? Let me see your phone.
No, I'm actually fixing to call him. If you want to, you can try to look it up on my, Xbox. Just make sure to get that, keyboard plugged in, and it'll be faster to type.
But I was gonna say is, I think I'm not.
Don't put it on the table over there.
I know. I was putting my cup down.
That's what I'm saying. Put your cup on the table.
Plug your cup on the table.
I said put. I said put.
But what I was thinking was, I'm not sure, I doubt it, but I have a feeling that ADHD is starting to become more common.
It's always been very common. It's
Yeah,
just becoming more recognized.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, I'm wondering if there's levels of ADHD we don't know about.
Oh, there definitely is.
Yeah.
There was a study done either last year or the year before last where they were saying that they think that autism is just a very complicated form of ADHD. Because
Fuck, I got double ADHD.
you got the ADDD.
It's a stuttering problem.
But they were saying, like, when I was younger, my parents thought I had autism because I didn't speak until the age of maybe 1. They started talking, I think, after 8 or 9 months. And
Bro, that's normal. I think that's normal.
yeah, but
Why?
they were so worried because I couldn't hear
Yeah.
for the first, I think it was 10
Or
months.
you're just fucking stubborn and deciding not to listen.
I don't know. They would be screaming at me, and I wouldn't even look. So they thought I was either deaf or I just didn't like to talk to people.
Yeah.
And they decided, well, he's not old enough to get ear surgery yet, but we can still look and see if there's anything just blocking his ears. And so they looked, they said there was nothing there. They put in, I think they said I was too young for tubes, but they put in technically like these little rubbery ear plugs.
Yeah.
That you could fold and like push into the ear so it didn't like what is it? No, not close, but like resurface your ear shape. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
And they basically just gave this to me and said wash out his ears and put rubbing alcohol in them before he closed back up and make him swing his head a lot. So when I do this, aka I'm just shaking my head, when I do this a lot, it's basically just me remembering that they would be shaking my head like that.
Yeah.
And over time, I guess my ears were clogged with something, they just didn't know what. Or there was too much of a layer of skin on my eardrum. And our ADHD rate's growing. Ew, Bing! Anyway, oh, I'm reading something. Has actually increased, yes. Yes. But, Chad. Anyway.
Well, hang on, let me continue what I was saying before I forget. So, he didn't start talking till about 1. My little brother, we're like, we're starting to.
It might have been maybe 2. Because they were really worried that I had
My
it.
brother hasn't started talking fully sentences yet.
No, I hadn't started talking like at all.
Yeah, he didn't
That's
start
why they were
talking
so-
until like 3, at the end of 3. And he's 5 now.
Okay. Yeah, that either means he has really bad.
I think what we think is we think he has autism. Because,
You can't really diagnose that until you're what, 4 or 5?
no, you can't, well, he is 5. He's 5 now.
Oh shit, you're right.
But I'm gonna drop his name just for the hell of it. Dustin wouldn't let him get tested because he was worried if he would, he didn't know if he could live with that.
You're already gonna be living with it.
Exactly.
I mean, not with it. You're gonna be living with him.
Yeah.
For hopefully not the rest of your life because you're a piece of shit. But
By the way, a little backstory. Dustin is his father, and he's a fucking asshole.
he,
Actually kicked me out
yeah,
because I stood up for myself because bullshit happened. And
his mother and him got in a fight. Not the dude that we're talking about, but well, yeah, the dude that we're talking about got in a fight with the guy that I'm talking to right now. Fuck, this is getting so
Jacob.
confusing.
Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob. Let's just call I got him talking to Jacob.
You're Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm Jeremy.
Jeremy and Jacob.
His mother and...
So let me just do the...
Yeah, just let him talk, because it's way easier for him to explain.
After I dealt, I've been living with my aunt for the past few years, or 2 years. Or, yeah, about 2 years.
No, it's only been a year.
Well, it's been
the very beginning
it's been
of
about
this...
a year and a half. Because it was right... Yeah, it's been about a year and a half now. Or close to a year and a half.
No, because it was 2 weeks after school started.
It was after the...
After the first
hurricane.
6 weeks of school started, actually.
After the hurricane. Because the hurricane hit, and then we were cleaning up, and then I got kicked out. It's after Imelda.
No, what I was saying is, you were saying your aunts after you got kicked out of here.
Well, yeah, it's been about a year and a half. It's going to be a year and a half in like 2 months.
No, it's going to be a year. And
No, it's already been a year. Because I left at the beginning of 2020. Because I left in November. Or not November, February. Or at the end of February. Or beginning of January. Or end of January, sorry.
No, you moved out 2 weeks before
Because remember... No,
school started. Remember?
No. Because remember, it was 2020 hit. Because I remember I had broken up with on February. Literally the Monday after Thanksgiving. Or Valentine's.
Fucking sucks for you, dude. But, continue.
But it'll be about a year now. About a year and a half or so. Well, she had gotten a boyfriend because she was tired of living there. Like, they were separated. They're tired of it. So, she had started talking to this dude. Well, she posted on her Facebook that she had gotten into a relationship. Well, he found out and got pissed off. So she went in and grabbed all her shit, or as much shit as she could, and then was going to leave. Well, as she was leaving out, she was pissed because obviously my brother's being left, has to be left, and she has to leave.
Yeah.
So she's pissed. So she was driving away, and she went over a curb. Not a curb. She went over the middle of the road a little bit. Which, by the way, where they were at, the roads are literally like, when nobody's on there, it's basically a one-lane road.
Yeah. And it's usually very barren.
Yeah.
Like,
literally
every single time that I went to go pick him up, or get my
throughout
mom
the day, you get maybe 20 cars in a day.
On a very busy day, maybe 30.
Yeah.
At the very most.
And that's if traffic's backed up on I-10.
Yeah.
And, but she was leaving, so she went over the middle just a little bit.
Sorry. Let me just cut in here. I forgot that I-10 went from, I'm pretty sure it's Florida, right?
It goes from Florida to California, I think.
Yeah, I forgot that it went that far. I was like, bro, they're gonna know where we are.
Oh, yeah.
I
I-10.
forgot. Yeah.
We're gonna know exactly where we're at.
Yeah, I forgot that it was like, what? Almost.
I'm just gonna look it up.
Yeah, just look it up. It's gonna be a lot easier than me guesstimating. It's gonna be either way over or way under. How long is I-10?
It's 2,400.
I thought that said 2 million. I was gonna be like, what? That is impossible. It's 2,460 miles. Or if you're in a different country, go back up. 3,959
Basically 4,000
kilometers.
kilometers.
Yeah. And almost 2,500 miles.
Yeah. So, anyway.
But back to his story, sorry.
Yeah. So, we were leaving, or she was leaving. Well, he decided to call the cops. Because he's fucking petty like that.
He's just an asshole all around.
Yeah.
He didn't even want to come out for his son's birthday.
Yeah. Literally, we had his birthday twice. Didn't come out because he didn't want to see my family.
I'm pretty sure I came out to both of them. Right?
The first one, because I don't think I knew you. Or I think we weren't that close to the first one. No, you were there for the second one, not the first one. Because you weren't that close. Because it was
The
when
one
me
was
and
the second birthday party that I went to. I know it wasn't yours.
No, you did go to mine.
Was it yours?
Yeah.
What was yours?
That was my 15th, I think. Because when I was living here.
You weren't living here for 2 years. That would have been your, that would have been your 16th birthday. She only had you for a year.
Yeah, so, but it was when we were, the one at my uncle's, when Eli, or...
Oh, yeah! Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That was your birthday. For some reason I was thinking it was Wyatt's.
But anyway, yeah, he didn't want to come out, and like he's one of those guys that's like he used to work in the plants, and he was a paint inspector or supervisor, or whatever the fuck.
So he was very bossy.
Yeah, he was used to having like he was as high as you can get, so he was used to having all control. But as soon as he came home, he got pissed any minute he did not have control over anything.
It's kind of like some army men when they come back home and they find out that their spouse has been cheating on them, or their children got
reasonable.
Well, that's reasonable. But if their children got into a little bit of trouble with somebody,
yeah,
they're going to be flipping
out of proportion.
Yeah, like they're like, you're going to go through this amount of training, this amount of sleeping, and you're going to wake up early as fuck in the morning.
Speaking of, that's what my dad did.
Yeah, his actual father.
My dad legitimately put me on a fucking Marine sleep schedule.
He was in the Marines?
No, his friend was.
Ah.
His friend literally wrote down everything they had to do in the Marines. Every morning, 50 jumping jacks, 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, 50 jump squats, 50, literally a shit ton of it. And then I had to wake up at 5 in the morning every morning.
I feel like an asshole because I was going to be like, the mice.
Right? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but he's mostly muscle. It's just from over time, it's become fat and then muscle again and then fat and then muscle.
Because I switch back and forth really rapid.
Yeah, because he either doesn't eat for an entire week and then eats a bunch, so he basically fasts for an entire week.
It depends on what time of the year. If it's during the school, it's more fat because I'm not moving and working as much for yard work.
Yeah.
But last year, when I was doing a shit ton of yard work,
there's another fucking roach. Is that one of the flying? Oh yeah, it rained today. You can smack it with this. It's tree roaches. They're basically these huge roaches that can fly. Is that a tree roach? You fucking missed. How? It's right fucking there. Don't know where it went, but he hit it directly, so I'm hoping it's not on the bottom of my shoe when I grab it.
No.
Okay. Hopefully it's dead, but...
You wake up to it on your face.
Yesterday, you know those little roaches that we have that I sprayed for?
Yeah, the one that I had to hit?
Yeah, those ones. They're little tiny roaches. They come out, like when they come from eggs, they are so tiny. But they grow to like the size of a fingernail over time. I found 3 of those fuckers crawling on me while I was at work.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It hasn't happened since then, thankfully. Like with all my other clothes, so I'm hoping.
Call them.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
But anyway, back to what I was saying. He called the cops, and the cops got there, and she got brought to jail for a day. Her boyfriend at the time decided to call me and was like, or he was texting me in the middle of class, and I'm like, why are you texting me?
Is he in college or is he?
No,
redoing his
GED. He was texting me in the middle of class.
Oh, he was texting you? Okay. Wait.
I was in the middle of class and he was texting me.
Did that happen during the school year?
It was during the end of the year. Remember when I texted you about it? I literally messaged you because this was when you had just moved into this room. I had messaged you about it.
Oh yeah.
Babe, do you remember what month that was by any chance?
It was maybe like late March.
It was...
Or late May.
It was May because we were together at the time.
It's gonna be May. Anyway.
But, holy shit. What? How many months or days are in this month?
31.
My anniversary's in 2 days.
Huh?
My anniversary's in 2 days.
Together. They made it official on the 1st.
Well, I realized it was 30th. Okay, so basically, we got together on the 30th, so technically today is our actual anniversary, but I realized that not all months have 30 days, so I decided to do it on the 1st.
Yeah.
Just to make it easier.
I'm gonna see when my computer comes in. Just so you know, I have a computer right now that I'm recording this on, but it's not...
It's a AIO. It's a shitty AIO.
It's an old-ass computer. And I'm getting a refurbished one that was made in... Let me check. It should say on the back somewhere.
Tab it.
Give me a second. My phone's freaking out.
Freaking oath.
Fuck off. Anyway,
Yes.
Well, anyway, can I have an i5 in it, so it's not that old, but it's not that new either.
Well, also i5s, the older i5s did come out a good bit ago.
True, but it's like a middle range i5.
Yeah, but
It's
you
not-
can switch it out eventually.
Yeah, I can definitely switch it out to a. Could I switch it out to a newer one?
It's a LG 1151 or LA 1151, something like that. The socket.
So is it okay? Yeah. So I can definitely.
If you want to check, look up the socket type.
Anyway,
But anyway, like I was saying, she went to jail. He texted me, whatever. So I called her at lunch because I was panicking, and she had called me after, and she had explained what happened. And huh? No, I know, but I realized I called her after. But she actually wound up coming to my house after school because she didn't have anywhere to go. Well, what was the point I was trying to make with this?
you were talking about your brother and then Dustin.
Oh yeah. So, anyway, long story short, he's a fucking asshole.
He definitely is.
And if I ever get a chance, I will stab him. But
To be honest,
to be honest,
we'll do it together, my guy.
yes, baby.
I'll help a homie out any day. Anyway, getting back to our guest, I'm gonna try to call him again. If he doesn't pick up this time, I'm just gonna tell him to not come on and to come on a different episode. So I'm gonna try to call him right this second if he wants to keep talking about whatever he was. While I'm trying to call him,
Turn it down a little bit.
turn it down. I'm gonna have to do that after.
But
Press the go button.
basically, my little brother is 5 now, and he can speak, but he has a really bad speech impediment. Funny story behind that. Me and my mom were driving one day when we were still
Please
living
leave
there.
your message for 409.
We were driving by his speech therapist place, and mom was like, "That's a speech therapist place." And I was like, "At least I don't need to be a therapist." Fuck. Long story short, I fucked up what I'm trying to say and made a point that I did. But like I said, like we're on what we're talking about, or what he was saying was ADHD could be or autism could be a form of like ADHD.
Oh shit, he texted me. Okay, yeah, he won't be able to make it tonight.
Mhm.
But if we do this again, he will. We could probably do it down there. Maybe not tomorrow. I don't get
Well,
up
I
until
might
11.
be leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, true.
I can see about I'm gonna check with her in a little bit. But I might see about staying until like Saturday noon, if that's all right.
That's fine with me. But yeah, he's playing matches with one of his friends on, I think it's Mobile Legends. And he also has let me see how to say this. A Gunpla figure? Gunpla? Gunpla! Gunpla!
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, it's basically just this, I don't want to say figurine because that makes it sound uninteresting. But it's like, I guess if you put a Transformer.
I don't play that game, so I don't know.
I don't think it's a game, I think it's a show.
Mobile Legends?
No, it's not from the game.
Oh.
Oh, hold on. Do I?
Pineapple.
Was that supposed to make you sneeze?
It's supposed to make you not sneeze.
Oh, well, I didn't sneeze, so either way it worked.
Well, it's supposed to keep you from sneezing, basically.
Anyway, he's putting together this figurine which has very tiny parts on it, and that's going to take him all night. If not, all week. So he's not going to be able to come on the show tonight, or the podcast. Podcast. Anyway, are you going to continue that story, or are we going to go back to our original?
Well, I've basically finished my point. I know it's kind of random, but I did want to keep that topic as much as I wanted to.
I wasn't really listening either way because I was trying to figure out what was happening with him. So I'm guessing you finished. We're just gonna go back to we missed 420. Anyways, I was gonna say, hey, it's 420. Oh wait, no, it's 420. Anyway, let's get back to the topic of technology. Do you want to start this one or should I?
I was gonna go on the topic I was saying when we first started about the train.
Oh yeah, we just went on a side tangent after that.
We stayed on it for a good 20 seconds, and then fucking yeet. But basically there was what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, that's pretty interesting because if you think about it, the metal on the train is made from metal in the earth.
Well, it depends on what type of metal it is.
Well, regardless,
it could be an alloy.
Most metal trains are made of straight steel, iron, or aluminum, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
The only thing that might not be is the diesel electric engine, the engine block itself, and a few other things. But for the most part, it's all. Besides, electronics.
I don't know what half the things he just said were. He was talking about engines, and I'm not good with those.
if any train experts are in the comments, leave a comment.
If you're also here, I just want to say I respect your effort, but I will never understand that. To be completely honest, I respect your effort, but
like I said, like you were saying, you think about it, a train in its raw form is mostly. A good example, steam engines. Like the first steam engine.
That was a bulky son of a bitch. It wasn't even a. I was just gonna say it wasn't even a steam engine. It was definitely a steam engine, but it wasn't a. It wasn't a train.
No, the first ever the steam engine train, like the first train.
Okay, the first train was really bulky because they didn't know how to perfect it. And they started making cars, which were accessible to everyone.
There's a big ass. There's a train that they moved because it was a showpiece, but it's the biggest train in the world, the old steam engine. And this motherfucker weighs 50 tons. 50,000 tons. It's ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure the first ever steam engine train wasn't actually used. It was used once or twice to show what the power of steam could do, to try to implement it into other things they can make automobiles, which we now have that use gas, and now we're transferring over to electricity, which...
Well, actually, there's actually other forms of gas they're working on, or fuel that they're working on, sorry.
Yeah.
They're working on electricity, hydrogen. Hydrogen actually is, right now it is refined, but the only problem is...
It's so unstable that if...
No, it's actually not that. It's, hydrogen is actually very safe. In the cars, because of the tanks are built. If something happens to the car, the tank is the last to go.
Yes, but also.
Well, no, the reason it's not like that is because there's only 60 pumps, and they're all in California or.
California? I need to get to California.
California or.
Sorry if that was racist, by the way. I don't really care, but you know. That can sound like a dick.
It's expensive as shit. 1 gallon of hydrogen is $50.
Yeah, because it's hydrogen.
Yeah. But there's a car by, I think it's Nissan, that's a hydrogen powered car. Granted, you can only buy it in the places that have the tanks. Yeah. But
I also heard those can go a long way.
Yeah, they go a shit.
But
the tank's tiny as shit. The tank literally is this big. It's
but what I was saying, or what I was trying to get to, the airsoft CO2 cartridges?
Yeah.
You could get maybe 100 miles off of that.
Yeah.
That's a long way.
Yeah.
And for $50 for a tank that big,
yeah,
they could probably get you across the U.S., back, and halfway.
Well, I've seen only a gallon of hydrogen. It's $500 to fill up a tank. But here's the catch. Nissan knows that. So what they did is they give you a $500,000 fuel card that will basically fill your tank a shit ton of time before you have to start paying out of pocket. Because the car itself, or actually it might be like 50,000. I might be thinking the wrong number, but I know it's 50 something.
It's either from 5,000 to 50,000.
I think it's 50,000 is what I think it is.
At the very most, they would only be able to give out
Like 100K.
Yeah, maybe even just 75K.
Yeah.
Because they're a huge business.
Yeah.
But they don't really make that much.
Yeah.
The most they make off of is maybe their. I think Nissan tried to go into electronics a few years back, like not just for cars, but like phones and stuff. I'm pretty sure they tried to make their own phone, but they were like, "Yeah, we're just gonna ditch this and go into like businesses and stuff, like small businesses, like investing in them so they can get a return on their money."
Yeah.
And when that failed, they were like, "You know what? Let's just try to make a new fuel source."
Yeah.
Which turned into hydrogen, which over time, if you use that car enough, it will deteriorate. But knowing that they probably have a safety mechanism to where if it deteriorates too much, they're just going to scrap it.
Yeah. Well, the fuel lines and everything are built to withstand that longer. The metal they use is made to withstand that. And another fuel source they're trying to use right now, this one's a little more refined because it's not as hard to do. Because with hydrogen, you have to change everything. Because actually with hydrogen cars, out of the exhaust pipe, you actually get water. Like clean drinking water. All you have to, well, it's not clean, but you have to, if you filter it a couple times to get all the soot and stuff out or whatever from the burning process, you get water.
They could technically make a water refining vehicle just from driving.
Yeah.
Like if you know how water plants.
The problem with that is there are exhaust gases, so they couldn't simply put a fucking tank of like an empty tank that runs the exhaust into it. No,
they definitely couldn't, because that would explode over time.
Yeah.
But if they made like an exhaust pipe for all those gases and stuff,
yeah,
they could definitely how water plants are.
Is run the exhaust into a tank. But here's the thing: they have vents at the top, and then after you're done using it, there's a whole filter with a pump in it that runs it through that filter into a secondary tank that uses that. And you bring it into the secondary tank, and it's clean drinking water.
Yeah, but all I was saying is, you know how water refinery places are? Where they have to be super sanitary and stuff?
Yeah.
You could literally just put vents on the top of it, make sure that nothing else can get into it.
Yeah.
Like, you know how, I think it's like, plastic bottles, you can make technically what's it called?
You're talking about like a mosquito mesh that they can get out, but they can't get in.
Kind of, but I was talking about like air and stuff couldn't get in, but it can get out.
Yeah.
Like vacuums, for instance.
Yeah.
Some of them use. That's what I was thinking about. Plastic cups you can make a vacuum out of if you put a piece of like a piece of film or something over the bottom of the lid.
Yeah.
And you cut a hole through it. You could put as much air as you want into that until it explodes.
Yeah.
That it basically creates a vacuum.
Yeah.
So if they just did that the opposite way with a hydrogen, basically truck,
yeah,
and they just ran that with a trailer on the back, they could get stuff moving, and they could have a water refinery thing on the back of it.
You threw that into a semi, you're fucking golden.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like trucking people, if they made, which this is very dangerous by the way, because if something happens to the tank,
yeah,
then everything's gonna go kaboom, because it's hydrogen. It's not Um. Uh.
You're like,
Sorry, it's not coming to me.
literally
Right now.
anything can explode.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Like back to my point of over time would deteriorate. What would they do with the stuff left in the tank? Like, would there be a way to get it out? Or
The tanks have a shut-off valve. Basically, in a case of an accident, there's shut-off valves in the fuel lines that, if there's an impact hard enough to crush the sensors detect that it needs to go in full safety mode. Like, if the airbags have to deploy, these valves shut, and basically they shut closed, and there's no hydrogen getting in or out.
what about the hydrogen already in the tube? What would happen with that?
If the valves, I'm guessing they would have. I don't know, but I think, in my opinion, if they didn't probably go into full design because it'd take a shit ton of engineering to do this. But the way I think they should do it is to have it to where if there's an impact, that there should be a secondary set of valves that open and just let out everything and get it out of the way. Because they don't use a lot of hydrogen. So there's not going to be a ton of hydrogen in the lines or the engine. So if you have an evacuation valve, you can get all that out and quickly, and at most.
And isn't hydrogen just a gas? It's a very flammable gas.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is there should be a thing next to not the exhaust pipe, but like far enough away to where it wouldn't heat it up.
Yeah.
To where if it needed to, it could take in pressure and just blast out the hole. Okay, I'm sorry, we're very dirty-minded people. But it would intake air, and it would just blast out all that, I was going to say helium, hydrogen into the atmosphere.
Well, with the evacuation valves, what I was thinking is there would be a flame, but it wouldn't be huge. It would be if you took a balloon. Like, you ever seen?
Yeah, it would be fast, but
it would burn so quickly there wouldn't be too much issues.
yeah, but if it's a what?
Make sure that that's not coming off.
Nope, it's on.
Okay, because I saw the side lifting a little bit. But
Oh yeah. But what I was saying is if, let's say, the tubes just what?
write down hydrogen cars, and I'll look up the car later.
Um,
Put a picture.
I put train talk at 450.
Okay.
Or 455. So if we just go,
Just do 50.
I'm just gonna put plus 10 minutes.
Hey.
But what I was saying, what was I saying? But if there was somehow a bad enough crash where the tank would crack,
Yeah.
if it's that bad of a crash, there's definitely gonna be a lot of flames.
Well, at that point, if the
It would just
crash happens that badly, the rear end of the car is reinforced enough to where, they didn't want to have a Pinto. No, a Pinto. A Pinto incident happening. The car that, if you got rear-ended, it exploded.
Wasn't that technically a Tesla for a little bit?
No.
Because the batteries were so close to the bottom of it that if a rock were to hit underneath, it would basically just explode
They
the
wouldn't
battery.
explode, they would catch fire. Or they would overheat, basically. But anybody that doesn't know what a Pinto is an old Ford car Ford made. The gas tank was in the very rear, but they designed it badly to where if you got rear-ended, it would basically ignite and almost explode instantaneously. But I feel like they should do a rendition of this. This is off topic a little bit, but I want them to do a rendition of it with modern technology, because nowadays, if they do a car like that, what they do is they put a bladder on the inside of it, of the metal case. So if it gets rear-ended, you have that bladder still intact.
Or even
Like-
if not that,
Like
just
with my grandpa's car that he gave me, the Corvette, that had that in it.
I thought you were talking about the truck. Yeah,
Uh,
because didn't he also write the truck in as well?
it wasn't technically in his. It wasn't officially mine, but it was supposed to go to me because he gave me the Corvette first, and then when the Corvette was sold, the truck was supposed to go to me.
So it's basically, if this doesn't happen,
Yeah.
if the person that owns this vehicle so may see it,
Yeah.
should go to this person.
Because I wasn't gonna get the truck until I graduated anyway.
You mean the Corvette?
Yeah, but the Corvette needed to be rebuilt. The truck didn't. Well, it needed some work after one of the floods happened, but it wasn't a whole lot. But anyway, they basically didn't want a Pinto incident happening, so I think they reinforced the rear end enough to keep that from getting destroyed. And like I said, the tank is basically built to withstand a shit ton before anything happens to it.
But yeah, what I'm saying is that, you know how the Pinto wasn't it like a small car?
It was yeah, it was a pretty small car. It's about the size of like a bug.
Okay, so it was a small car that if it got rear-ended, it would immediately explode.
Well, okay, I
Or
use
not
explode.
immediately, but
I use explode as
it would
broad
catch
term.
fire very fastly to where it
Yeah.
would make a small explosion.
Yeah,
Okay, what I'm talking about is if something got into a really, really bad crash. Like, you know how,
well, at
there's-
that point, if somebody got into a crash that bad, besides a semi, both people are 10 to 1 dead at that point.
yeah, but what I'm talking about is, you know, they made hydrogen bombs.
Yeah.
Basically, just put a ton of hydrogen inside of this casing and made something that would explode inside of it.
Yeah.
If there were two of those vehicles,
Well, you realize that with hydrogen, it's not straight hydrogen. It's also mixed with something that basically makes it inert. I might want to mention that. Yeah. So,
yeah, but there's still a chance that it could.
but it's lower.
Yes, it is very low. It is.
Yeah.
There's a very, very low possibility that could happen.
Yeah.
But it could still happen.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. If there's the smallest possibility that can happen, it will happen eventually.
Yeah.
What I was talking about is if two of those cars collided so badly
Yeah.
that they both exploded simultaneously,
Mhm.
would that create a big enough radius of an explosion to possibly harm other drivers or pedestrians?
Definitely.
That's what I'm talking about. What the hell?
I don't know.
Anyway, what I was talking about, would it be like the first hydrogen bomb that was ever created that made a crater?
No.
Would it make a small crater into the ground?
It wouldn't
Or would
be that big. It would not be that big because
Like even
those
with two
tanks-
full tanks?
It's one. Well, okay, yeah. Granted.
The
yes.
first hydrogen bomb wasn't even the size of my bed.
Yeah, but it was still big. I think those tanks.
Yeah, it was still big. You said that tank was
But like I
about
said,
this
I'm
wide.
pretty sure that those tanks have a safety feature. If an accident happens, they evacuate that hydrogen. I'm not sure.
But in a crash that bad, it would be so instantaneous that it wouldn't have enough time to make that happen.
Yeah.
It would be so instantaneous that it would immediately explode. Look up hydrogen car explosion. That would probably be the easiest. Hydrogen powered car explosion. Sorry, we're looking something up right now, and we found a thing that basically goes into what I was saying. Would it be big enough to not become a bomb, but if it happened fast enough with enough fuel in the tank, would it possibly cause shrapnel to go out and possibly leave back a tiny crater?
That's totally helpful. Well,
What?
here we go. For anyone still afraid that hydrogen is flammable, go with Elon.
Sorry, that was a little too funny.
Uh,
It doesn't even sound that. You thought of that?
huh?
Did you actually think of that, or does it say that somewhere?
Elon.
No, down here it says, for anyone still afraid that hydrogen is flammable, energy.gov released. You just thought of that. Like, you saw something, you saw that, and you just thought of it.
Yeah?
I wouldn't have even tried to put those two things together.
What?
You said,
No.
for anyone...
Fuel cells are surprisingly safe.
Yeah, and you said, for anyone still afraid that hydrogen is flammable, go with Elon.
I said go away, Elon.
Whatever, same difference. Same difference.
No, because what happened is this went up. Like, it reloaded and went up a little bit.
Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense. I wasn't really looking at this
has released a fact sheet that breaks down things a little further. It's just basic info. It's easy to understand for anyone uninterested in the scientific data that goes into developing fuel cells. The first thing to keep in mind is that gasoline and diesel are flammable liquids, so you're technically putting a substance in your gasoline-powered vehicle that could catch on fire. Though these are indeed cases of vehicle catching fire and not everyday experience for drivers. Other things.
Unless you have a really shitty car, in which case, boom! Every 5 times, every like 5 minutes, just boom, 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 boom.
The other thing to remember is the government wouldn't release untested vehicles to the public. The tanks that hold hydrogen are put through their paces before going to vehicles. Yes, hydrogen can be dangerous if misused, but technology has come a long way, and the chances of FCEV catching on fire randomly aren't that high. The good news is that fuel cells technology has become more cost efficient, allowing drivers to refuel their FCEVs more easily. Fuel cells may not be a perfect solution to reduce carbon emissions, but they're a step right in direction. Basically meaning, like I said, the tanks are built to withstand a shit ton of force before they go.
Yes, but have you ever met a dumbass that has done something to the car to make it blow up? Exactly. If you don't know, he just pointed at himself. That is exactly my point. Somebody will misuse that so badly that they will create something deadly. And giving hydrogen to the public is just a bad idea in general.
Yeah.
Because they could easily fill up something that isn't that tank.
Yeah.
So easily.
Actually, no. I think the cars have the tanks. I think they have a safety feature for that.
Even then, somebody can find a way to override it.
No, because what I think it is there. Actually, no, there won't be a way to override that. But I think the tanks to themselves have a special locking feature that are connected. I think there's actually an electronic part that plugs in. But then I just thought about it. I'm not gonna say what it is because I'm not giving anybody fucking ideas.
Tell me though.
I know, but I don't need them fucking hearing it.
I'm not that stupid. You can here.
No. Let's say it. I just want to see if somebody does it.
Oh no! You know what? No, I'm pausing this. Okay, I'm pausing this for a second. So if we cut out for no reason, you know why.
I'm dangerous.
Yes, you are. Anyway, if somebody does that, we're not gonna get into specifics because if somebody actually does this, we would possibly be
accounted for murder and or war crimes.
Yes. Not even just war crime. That's world crimes at that point.
Yeah.
Or would it be nation crimes? Anyway, he basically just got into talking about how you could actually create a hydrogen bomb with that.
Yeah.
That's
If you're
what I'm
smart
saying.
enough, you'll understand what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into basically, he said. But,
There's a way to surpass the locking mechanism.
yes. And with anything that comes out, even if aliens come down to Earth and are like, here is our technology. Take this and do it. I don't know why they're in this
Fucking
accent.
British.
Yeah,
Take
British.
this and
Take
fucking
this
use this.
technology. But if they're like, take this, it's all of our research within the last 1 million years. Take this and do whatever you want with it. We will still find a way to get up to that point, even if we have to downgrade whatever they were using just to understand it. Like, what is it called? Backwards engineering? Or, reverse engineering. If we even had to just reverse engineer that, we would find a way to override whatever they had on it to make ourselves more powerful. And at that point, we would either become unstoppable or we would kill ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we're already killing ourselves with our technology now. Hell, our phones are killing us slowly.
Yeah. And some people are doing it in the worst way possible.
Yeah. And even, oh my god, there was this girl. You know the guy, or the little kid, hydrogen powered some car that can drive 1,000 miles on a single tank. Oh, I was thinking it went, the fuck is that? That's the car. Okay, let's not.
1,000 horse.
Let's not go into this. Okay, stop searching now.
Seriously. I need to. I gotta read this up.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You can read it afterwards.
Fuck you.
Oh my god.
Just continue speaking. I'm listening to what you're saying.
I forgot what I was saying because I saw that you were reading something.
Death. Killing yourself.
Exactly. Even okay, you know that kid that made a clock and they were bringing it to the school science fair and the school thought it was a bomb, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
It was maybe early 2014, late 2016.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere in that time frame. A girl since then, for some reason, thought it would be a good idea to make a nuclear bomb. Bring it to school, show it off at the science fair. They let her.
The fuck?
Exactly. They let her bring a nuclear bomb into a school.
No. Never mind that. Okay, I can understand doing a model. That, yes.
No, she made an actual nuclear bomb.
My question is, where the fuck did she get a hold of fucking
You can get
everything?
a hold of everything on either eBay, Amazon, hell, even Craigslist.
Yeah.
You can find stuff to make a bomb that big.
And if you're really desperate, the dark web.
Yeah. She literally went online, bought maybe 12 things, and she had the rest of the stuff at home because her father was some sort of manufacturer. And she was able to create a bomb, bring it to school. They didn't arrest her. If that thing would have went off inside of that school, it would have blown up, and it looked pretty huge compared to her, but she was maybe 11, 12.
Still, regardless, that would have gotten rid of the school.
Yes. It was maybe twice her size. It would have gotten rid of the school, all surrounding buildings within a 10-mile radius, maybe more.
Maybe a 50-mile radius.
Hell, maybe a 50 to 100-mile radius. And then would have broken glass and caused radiation poisoning for hundreds of miles out of that range.
Yeah. And on top of that, everybody in that school would have been non-existent.
They would have been vaporized.
That's one way to get put in a shirt wearing minute. We don't have pictures anymore.
That's one way to end the internet. But, yeah, they just let her walk into school with that big-ass bomb. And they're like, can you show us how it works? And she almost pressed the button.
Well, granted, she might have had a safety feature into that.
Maybe, but even if she did, it could have failed.
Yeah.
And they're like, don't press any buttons that'll make it go off. Right before she pressed that. And she went, oh yeah, that might be smart.
Oh, no shit.
So she was smart enough to make a bomb.
But wasn't
A
smart enough
nuclear
to not
bomb.
fucking hit the button.
Exactly. Back to the topic of technology,
that was fucking technology.
No, back to the original point of technology. There's a movie that I think came out in either 2020 or 2021. It's called, I think it's called Awake. Or Awaken or something. And it's basically about how they're guessing in the show, or in the movie, that a solar flare style event was so bad that it caused a worldwide, technically EMP, to where nothing was working except for older vehicles.
Yeah.
And even people were starting to not work.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't
Someone's
sleep.
pacemaker.
Yeah, actually. People's pacemakers were failing left and right.
Yeah.
They were really at a hospital because they got in a wreck because of the technical EMP that happened because of that solar flare. And they were in the hospital. Nothing was working.
Yeah.
They barely even had a generator to run on. They had to remake the generator. It was basically like a hand crank generator. They had to remake to take gas.
Yeah.
And they literally just used books and stuff that they found in the basement to remake the generator into one that didn't need power. So, which is kind of ironic if a generator needs power. But, anyway.
Well, no. No.
It makes sense, but
Well,
also
it was
doesn't.
based in the future, correct?
No, it's based in now.
That wouldn't make sense, though. Generators nowadays, unless it's like a Generac.
It was for a hospital.
Oh, okay, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was for a hospital. So you had to take it all apart.
No, because what I was going
and
to
put it back
say
in.
is if you're talking about like a standard generator, those are made to run without external power.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is a hospital generator,
Yeah.
which has a power cord connected to it to, if it ever went out,
Yeah.
it ran to a motherboard which said, hey,
It's basically
We're dying
a
over
breaker
here.
that when flipped, it activates.
yeah, but it automatically flips itself.
That's what I'm saying is when power goes out, the breaker flips itself.
Yeah.
And it shuts off.
But it also has a board connected to it, which, when the thing happened, it fried itself.
Yeah.
So they had to learn how to do it themselves, because they couldn't just reconnect the wires.
Yeah.
They were still technically hot. Or
Yeah.
so they thought. But going off the tangent of that, everybody was not able to sleep. Only the people that died and came back to life were able to sleep. And thankfully they found that out before... Well, they didn't figure it out. The main characters, it's a family of a mother and 2 kids. The daughter technically died and came back when she drowned in the lake from the crash.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, the brother technically dies from getting shocked and then comes back to life. And they're like, oh, he was able to sleep. And the mother's fixing to die either way. So they decide she's going to drown or she's going to die either way. She
Yeah.
can't think correctly right now.
Yeah.
It would probably be best just to drown her and try to revive her and let her live out her last few seconds, last few minutes, having delusions and possibly being like, no, that's my son, that's my daughter, don't take them away from me.
Yeah.
So they were like, it's better to think that you're drowning and having thoughts about that than, dying thinking that your children are getting taken away from you.
Yeah.
And so they put her in the water, and she could barely move a muscle at this one, because it was, I think, 47 hours after. And in the movie they explained that everything's going by faster. The sleep timer that they were going on started to fail because of the technical EMP that happened. It was basically a biological EMP.
Yeah.
It was happening to apes, anything that was sort of human related.
Yeah.
Birds and everything else could stay alive. It was basically a worldwide extinction event for anything human-like.
Yeah.
Which would have meant everything would have died, everything would have become scavengers that didn't die. And what? What?
Look.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Why am I easy? Anyway.
You don't know why you're easy?
Don't say it. Anyway. But they didn't know how to since all of the technology was gone,
Yeah.
they only had stuff that was saved on computers for the last 7 to 8 years.
Yeah.
There were no actual hard copies of whatever would happen. So anything that would have happened within the last 7 to 8 years that would have been almost exactly like that, just on a small scale for like 1 or 2 human beings, was now gone. They didn't have any evidence. Fuck you. They didn't have any evidence.
Hey, well, let me explain what just happened. Okay, so I'm playing Forza Horizon 4 as we're talking, and I found his profile driving around. So he was like, "Why am I easy?" So I said, "You want to know why you're easy?" I started to race him, and I would have had such a far head start. It was stupid.
Well, yeah, because you're a pro driver playing Forza.
Boy, I ain't no pro.
Bitch, don't be lying.
Why you always lying?
Oh my god, get off of this topic. Anyway.
You're just mad because I won.
Yes. Anyway. What was I talking about?
Horse.
No. What was I actually talking about?
Biological something.
Oh yeah, every biological life form that didn't die would have retaken over our civilization. Everything that we created, they would have taken it back over. Would they be able to figure out how to use that technology to their advancement? Or to their advantage?
With enough time, yeah. Anything can happen with enough time.
Well, yeah, but what I'm talking about is, like, our dogs and cats, they usually know how stuff around them works because we use it every day.
Yeah.
Would they be able to, if every human died, would they be able to technically try to use that stuff?
Their books. If they can even remotely read or even look at pictures.
That's
Books.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, would they be able to figure out how something works? Like, even if it
Don't
was
let
like,
him read WikiHow.
Don't let him. Don't try to recreate a human with like a long ass neck, these fucking weird ass arms, just be able to control it by the brain on the back. And it's just this long elephant looking thing with a human neck and a head. But do you think they would be able to learn their own type of technology just from looking at what we have made? Like, because dogs and cats that aren't domesticated see domesticated animals as inferior.
Yeah.
Because they are. And they make, not tools, but...
You're a tool.
Yes. But they find sticks, stones, and whatever they can, and they try to use them to their advantage. I know that coyotes, for instance, and our part of Texas,
You dumbass.
you know what? It's fine. Texas is huge. How would they be able to find us other than taking our IP?
I-10 in Texas. That narrows it down quite a bit.
Fuck, it does. I mean, it goes through a pretty large section of Texas.
Exactly, but that still narrows it down. Because that means essentially...
We could still be pretty far away from I-10 and still go on to I-10.
Well, if we used to live with you...
Dude, shut the fuck up. You can just live closer to it and drive farther away to me.
Sure.
Which is what he did. That's fucking... Anyway.
We'll just cut that part out. Write it down, which part's gonna... Just do like a minute 5, and we'll just go there. Or whatever the time is.
Anyway, what I was saying is that coyotes in our part of Texas are already learning how to trick domesticated animals. Because if you throw something, they're going to go after it.
Yeah.
Either if it's just they thought you threw something, or they heard it. They're going to go after it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like with some snakes. Or most snakes, actually. If you throw something in an opposite direction that you are, they'll look that direction because they can't see that well.
Yeah.
They can only see, like, what's it called?
Infrared.
No, it was, where you have these literally, like, really narrowed vision. Not tunnel vision, but imagine, you know how you're blind? You have to have glasses?
Yeah. God, why you have to call me out like that?
Because you're fucking blind. Anyways. Anyway, they don't have a very good sense of direction. All they know is, this is ground, I can crawl up this thing. It has vibrations, I can crawl up it more. That's what leaves and stuff, that's what they use to their advantage.
Yeah.
They use leaves to figure out where they are. Or grass to figure out where they are. Or sound. Any type of vibration that they can use, they use it. Because it shows them where they are. It's kind of like with bats at night. They can see perfectly well. If you say you're as blind as a bat, you have 20/20 vision. They can see perfectly, if not better than humans.
Well, some of them.
Yeah, some of them are actually as blind as bats, but
So take them as blind as a snake.
yeah, essentially. But what I was trying to get to, fuck, I forgot what I was trying to get to. Fuck.
I don't remember what you're trying to do either.
Coyotes. Anyway, coyotes use rocks and sticks and stuff to their advantage. It's basically, you know how curiosity killed the cat? It literally does in this instance. Because they hear something like, either they're scared of it and they back up into the coyote, or they aren't scared of it and they go towards it.
Yeah.
In which case the coyote attacks. So, would they be able to figure out that we use projectiles? Like, they wouldn't be able to make perfect recreations of catapults, but they would see it and be like, ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Would they be able to figure out a way to make that? Like, with enough time, of course, but do you think they would be able to create something like that where they could fling something?
So you're talking about like a species that came to Earth, or like an evolution?
No, just evolution. Like, over time, they would be like, oh, we see these, like, they're deteriorating. We need to figure out how to save these fast. They would write it in whatever they had available. Like, with their claws or something into a hardwood floor. Or a table.
I think so, because if they can figure out, if they know how to throw something, you're one step closer already.
Yeah.
But then all they have to think is, how can we make this more efficient? Then your next step would be you take, just say, a stick with like another stick inside of it to make like a cradle. You got like a tennis ball launcher. And after that, you're like, okay, how can I do this without having to hold this? Build a large scale.
Put a stake in the ground.
Put two sticks in the ground, a piece across, and then that part on it, you got basically a catapult at that point.
Make like a seesaw device.
Basically.
Where there's a little divot in the middle.
Yeah.
And they literally just take their paw or their beak and just go.
Yeah.
If you don't know, I'll raise my hand and put it down really fast. It would basically. That sounded like it hurt. But it would basically just fling it as far as they needed it to.
Yeah.
Because, like, humans. The first. Not human person, but the human type person.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a monkey or their descendants, but as soon as they started developing skin.
Yeah.
Not like ape skin where it's all like our skin where it's kind of smooth, but it's still like he has what is it? An autoimmune disease? Well, yeah, it's just psoriasis, but isn't it like an autoimmune disease?
Yeah.
You're basically
I'm de-evolutionizing.
yeah, you're back and forth of you're basically in the middle of the ranking of humans.
I feel insulted.
No, they were very smart.
I know, but still I feel insulted.
You should be. You have a lot of hair, to be completely honest. I wouldn't be surprised if you were a monkey. Monkey, go back. I want to be monkey. Anyway, like somewhere along the line, they must have learned or saw something throw something and be like, I can improve on that.
Yeah.
I can do this without having to move my arms. I can throw this rock attached to a stick to make it go farther.
Or it could have just been something. It could have been something as simple as
Something falling.
Yeah, they were carrying something and dropped it. Like,
or they stumbled and then it flung it.
Yeah.
They were like, oh,
Yeah,
I can throw this.
Yeah, or like they were like, oh shit, picked it up, dropped it again, and then was like, well, maybe, and then started slowly learning.
Or would have been one of us of the group and just kept on dropping it until somebody else saw.
Like, you pick
ooh,
interesting.
And then somebody else just came along and was like,
goes to pick.
bonk! No murder weapon now. How do you think they solved murders back then?
They didn't.
No, listen, like, they probably didn't. They were probably like, ooh, food, and just ate the body. But, like, do you think if they saw somebody do something wrong, they had enough mental capacity to be like, oh, that's a wrong thing, we need to stop them from doing that?
To be honest, probably. Well, back then they were more animalistic, so they didn't
Even
think,
apes back then were teaching that.
But what the thing is they weren't thinking this is wrong.
This
what
is
they were
right.
thinking
was we need to survive.
dominance.
Yeah.
If just let's take the example of lion prides real quick. And
If
another male lion comes in to try to take dominance,
they will fight it out.
yeah.
Like, actually, in lion prides, I guess, or lion groups, they will actually get rid of all of the offspring if they become a part of a new pride or group. Because they don't want that bloodline to continue.
Yeah.
They will literally kill the offspring.
Late-term abortion.
Yeah, essentially. A very, 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 very late-term abortion.
they're like 16, just, I'm tired of you.
Basically murder. Anyways, literally murder, actually. But they will literally kill off the offspring of the other, I guess you could call it a king, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, lion is basically the, I was going to say alpha of the group, but when I think alpha, I usually think of wolf because of you. You. Excuse me, that was nasty.
Blame Mariah. Yeah, I think so. Maybe. Yeah, I think so. But, blame Mariah for that one. She was the one that started the whole thing. Because, yeah, I like wolves, but then she got me way into it.
Anyway.
I think I just do it now, just keep it in memory.
Yeah.
Anything.
I haven't talked to her in a while.
Can't. You
Why?
can't get a hold of her anymore.
Nothing.
The girl she was living with and she got adopted to, she apparently moved out of there and they haven't been able to get in contact with each other. So she has no contact whatsoever.
Wait, she moved out or her
I think
adopted
her
sister?
I think her adopted sister moved, but she stayed or something. Or I think the parents might have split up or something, I'm not sure.
Anyway, back to the talk of lion prides or lion groups. They will kill the offspring and try to reproduce with the mothers. And have you ever seen that photo of female lions biting testicles of male lions?
And they look so sad.
No, not even just that, but just because they don't reproduce well.
Yeah.
They will literally bite them off if they do not produce well.
Yeah.
And if you are the head lion or leader of that group of lions, lionesses, they will literally eat you from that part of your body up because you are not, I don't know what the word to use there is, but you aren't, I guess,
Worthy.
great. Yeah, worthy enough of being the leader. Now, in wolf packs and stuff, the leader takes care of the pack.
Okay,
They aren't.
so there's a slight misconception when it comes to wolves. Technically, there is no alpha.
There's only a
because-
leader.
Not even that, really.
No, like the leader of the pack is the person that looks after the pack.
Basically,
It's basically the healer of, like back in.
like no. Well, just listen to what I'm trying to explain. So essentially, the way the hierarchy works is you have the elders, you have the kids, the teens, and then
Which usually stay in the middle.
yeah.
And
Wait, okay.
the strongest
If you ever look,
stay in the front and the back, and then the.
no, actually,
Yeah, actually, there was a photo that
no.
went.
Listen, let me explain real quick because you'll understand. The way, if you ever look at a wolf pack in a line, what it is, you have the elders in front. The reason they do that is for if something attacks from the front, the elders are sacrificing themselves to go after. Then you have the teens.
Strongest. No, not.
There is
it's
no
not the teens.
strongest. It's a hierarchy. They all work together.
Exactly, but they try to put the strongest teens and younger people at the front and in the back of the group.
The alpha stays in the back because if anything attacks from the rear, it protects them.
And it also stays back there to make sure that nobody gets off track.
Basically, the teens and the kids are in the middle for the fact of they need to stay alive the longest to precede that bloodline. Yes, there might be one or two stronger, but for the most part, it's more they know what they need to do. The elders are ready to sacrifice themselves for the pack. The alpha is ready to sacrifice themselves for the pack, and the women and children are dead center, like it would be nowadays.
Or back then. Now it's, if you're a woman, you just yell at the men and then, you're good.
If you're
We're not getting into that. We're not getting into that.
No,
That's for next episode.
I'm gonna make one joke real quick.
Okay.
It'll be a segue to the next episode. Fucking, no, if you're a woman nowadays, or no, if you're a guy nowadays and somebody says that, fine, I identify as a woman, bitch. Rips your dick off.
No, that's not how that works. That would be extremely painful and possibly cause you to bleed out. But because
they're
they're
live
they're
long enough to fucking leave and then dies on the boat.
I won't. Just jumps off the boat. Anyway, let's not get into that. But what I was talking about was the technical leader or healer of a wolf pack. The technical alpha isn't. It doesn't try to procreate. It tries to keep everyone alive.
Yeah.
It basically says, hey, or doesn't say, but it tells them that they either need food. It's kind of like to put it into human talk. It's basically if you work at a fast food restaurant, if you're missing something, the general manager is the person that says, hey, we need this. Like, if you need to stock something, they're like, hey, you need to do this, this, and this. And the managers will tell you, the employee, that you need to do this, this, and this. So, it's basically, as he just said a while ago, a hierarchy. Hierarchy. A hierarchy.
Hierarchy.
Hierarchy?
Hire as in hired?
Yeah, I know what I'm trying to say, dickwad. Am I saying it correctly?
Say it.
Hierarchy.
Yeah.
Okay, it just sounds weird. Oh, we might have to end this soon. But either way, they basically are the healers. Like back in, I guess, industrial, or no, that was after we already came to the technical new world and just ravaged everything from them. Maybe like the Renaissance era, or the Dark Ages, maybe.
Yeah.
Where there would be... Yeah, the Dark Ages, because they believed in magic and stuff.
Yeah.
It would technically be the healer of them. They'd be like, oh, are you okay? Like, do you need help, or do you want to die? Like, that's how they work. Like, that's technically what plague doctors were. They were basically just people asking if you wanted to live or to die.
Yeah.
Because it was a plague. You couldn't do anything about it. You could try your hardest. That's what bloodletting was. That was like a last resort to keeping yourself alive.
Yeah.
Was basically a method of killing yourself.
Yeah.
Was to keep you alive. And now I just know it as a method of killing yourself. But anyway, That's basically what the alpha of the pack would do, or does. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
It's basically what the alpha does. They don't try to procreate.
It's preferred that they are the ones that do it.
Yes, but if
If they see a threat from another alpha or another male that's trying
another
to
member
take
of the pack
space,
that is male,
they will fight, but they won't kill.
they
If
will
it's part of
fight to
their
show
pack.
dominance, and if they are close to killing, they will stop immediately
Yeah.
and try to heal them back. And if it's too far gone, they will.
Take it as food.
No, not even that. They will actually grieve for a
Yeah.
minute. They will
They'll
literally
grieve,
just
but
stand
then
around it.
they'll realize if they need food, they will go
Yes.
for it.
If they don't need food and they have an abundance of food, they will literally sit there and wait for a minute, and the alpha or pack leader
Yeah.
will literally go around, make somebody else go around, and they will grieve.
Yeah.
And then they will either kill it right after grieving to make sure that it lived an honest, peaceful life,
Yeah.
or if it didn't live an honest, peaceful life and tried to steal from the pack and run away, and that's why they had to fight,
Yeah.
they will kill it and not grieve.
Yeah.
They will literally give it 5 minutes of just staring blankly at it. Like, you know how domesticated dogs, they whimper
Yeah.
when they are feeling sad or grief.
Yeah.
That's technically what wolves do on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
They literally sit there, they go, "Woo," like a small little howl, I guess, to show that they are grieving, and then they will leave.
Yeah.
But if they did not show that they were worthy or that they tried to steal something from the group or the pack, they will literally sit there and stare it dead in the eyes and bark at it.
Yeah.
The entire time for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And if any predators come along, they will literally back away from that animal and let it die a horrible, gruesome death.
Yeah.
Because it was on something. I can't remember the name of it.
I know what you're trying to say.
I hope they do too, because I'm not getting into that. Anyway, this episode of the
bdussy podcast.
it's bdussy.
bdussy.
Dumb bitch. On this episode of bdussy and bdussy on the bdussy podcast, we talked about technology and how we went on a tangent.
Yeah.
We went from technology to technology, back to technology, to
mental
bombs,
illness,
to
to bombs,
to-
to war crimes, then to fucking wolves.
then back to technology, then to wolves, and we're now here.
Yeah.
You want to talk about anything else before we have to end it?
I had a point at some point that I fucking forgot by this point.
Yeah, that's the point that you had a point. There was a point that you had a point. Exactly.
Guys, if y'all want to, keep account of how many times we said fucking point.
Yeah, there's a point of a point of a point point point.
Point.
Did you know if you say
You want a
say
fucking point, mate?
I'm pretty sure if you say police over and over in a sentence, it is technically a real sentence.
No, it's bison.
Bison?
If you say bison, that's a full sentence.
I thought it was also with police, since they had several different meanings.
Possibly, but I think bison is...
Bison is more well known
Yeah.
as one of them that you can do it with. I know buy you can do. It's basically just the same word changing a letter every once in a while.
Yeah.
And it's bye.
Bye.
I think. And it basically means it's technically saying like bye, like goodbye.
Yeah.
And then something else. I can't remember what the actual sentence is, but it's I think it's 4 or 5 byes in a row, just all spelled differently.
Yeah.
And it's basically saying bye, I'm gonna go do this now.
Yeah.
And it's basically just a really complicated way of saying bye, I'm going to do something. But anyway, what was I trying to get out with that?
Just the fact that I was saying point so much.
Oh yeah, that. As we said in the last one,
Don't jerk off too hard.
bro, we did not say that in the last one. Although you might want to slow down on that, Jacob. This one, Jacob, and I was just like, why you gonna put me on like that?
He's sitting there stroking. He's just
To our voices, hit.
no. He's watching porn in the background, but he's watching because he likes their shit. He's just sitting there stroking fast,
Just vigorously, just
and he hears that and just like, fuck.
I need to stop, man.
Get rid of your addiction. Kill yourself.
No, don't. We need to take that out. What time is I'm kidding, I'm not taking that out. That was like kind of funny. But
Don't do that for real.
yeah, don't.
We're not charged for it.
He's tried to do it so many times that I can't count. But anyway.
Says you.
True. Anyway, as we said in the last one, if you have any thoughts or things that you might want us to read up on, or not even read up on, just
Wait, I
talk
remember what I
about.
was trying to talk about.
Oh. Hold on, he has something to say. He has a point.
The fucking pyramid scheme we were going to talk about.
Oh yeah, there's another section of this that I don't.
Should we do a secondary video? Like a shorter?
No, we can put it into this one if it takes longer to upload it. Just take.
It'll just be like a 2-hour video maybe. Because it's going to take us a few minutes to explain or talk about.
Knowing us, we'll go on a side tangent.
I just wanted to be a 5-hour video.
Yeah, but
do you think our max should be like 2 hours?
2.5. Max 2.5. Minimum.
Unless it's a really deep topic and we can go maybe 3.
Yeah, maybe 3.
Okay, so...
But, you want me to tell them why we got to that?
Let me pull up the comment, actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
well...
Let me check to make sure she's sleeping. I'll just hang it up. It'll be quicker.
Okay, while he's doing that, we uploaded our first episode of the podcast early yesterday morning. And... What time is it?
I think it would have been like 1 in the morning.
No, like the comment. Like, did you see what time it...
I'll pull it up.
I could easily have pulled it up on my phone.
Yeah. Alright, got it.
Okay. But, what time was it?
It was 7 hours ago, so...
It was maybe...
like 5-ish.
5-ish to 8-ish. Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Somebody posted it. We can get you ratings and stuff.
Should I say the name? Didn't call it out just so people know.
You can if you want to, since it's a bot. I don't think they would really care.
So, this is Tactic Turn, spelled Tern. I have a way for you to get ratings and make bank, but first, are either of you experienced as DXM enemas? What?
Yeah, I saw enemas and I was like, I don't think this is...
Enemas or cinema?
I think they were trying to say...
Who the hell liked the comment?
Someone liked the comment.
2 people liked the comment.
Wait a damn minute. Sorry if we go silent for a minute. We're trying to check up on everything. To make sure that...
Sorry, I kind of new to this. He's not. He's fucking does more videos, but granted, they're fucking weird.
Yeah, I tried to do another YouTube channel, but it did not go well. I hated the way that I looked. I hated everything about me. That's why we're staying anonymous until we turn 18. He can come out. He can say his legal name and everything that he wants to as soon as he turns 18.
Just
But
when
I'm
I
gonna-
turn 18, I'm just like, we should do face reveals when we turn 18.
We can for you,
Yeah.
and we can just keep it pointed at you the entire time we talk.
That's what I was saying, is we do face reveals when we're 18.
Yeah, but mine's in what, 3 years? No, 2 and
1 year.
2 and 2 months. Yeah, 2 and 2 months.
No, 1 year. You turn 17 this year.
Oh shit, he's right. 1 year and 2 months.
Yeah.
From now, I will be 18.
And then I'll be 18 in a few months.
2 people liked the comment?
Yeah, like I said.
Anyway, what we were going to talk about is...
So, this will be about bots in general. Because this shit's
Or scams in general.
Yeah. So, if you're an actual person, fuck you.
Like, not even just because we think you're a bot, just because of the way that you put it.
Yeah.
Like, if you actually wanted us to see something or actually get ratings, just tell us in the comments, And we have a Twitter account.
Yeah, I was about to say, we can
Made a
make,
Twitter account, Reddit account, and I think I'm thinking about making a
I was gonna say do an Instagram and a do an Instagram and a Twitter.
Yeah, I did a Reddit, Twitter, and I'm thinking about doing an Instagram.
Okay, we need to link those after that.
I'm definitely gonna link the Twitter one, but the Reddit one is just for marketing.
Yeah.
If you find it, then good for you. You can message us on it. But we were definitely gonna put in the description of this episode our Twitter for this channel.
Yeah. So
Actually, let me finish what I was gonna say. But yeah, after we put that in there, if you actually want to help us in any way, literally just click on that and message us and tell us what you think we should do. We still might not take it up since we're not of legal age, and we would still need a guardian to tell us what would happen and tell us the possible legal ramifications of that.
Yeah.
But if you think we should do something, or think you need to show us something important, literally just, as I said, we're going to put in the description the Twitter handle and whatever else.
and possibly the Instagram if we make one.
Yeah, if we make one. If you really just want to talk to us, I'll make the Reddit one accessible, so you can just message us in there.
So what I was gonna say is, if you're the person that commented that and you're actually legitimate, we would prefer, if you have anything like that, to please private message us.
Or just put in the comments, hey, I'm a real person, like, just add me on Twitter and I can help you out.
Yeah, put your handle or something.
Yeah.
Because
not on the YouTube comments, just tell us and you can just come to our Twitter handle and message us.
Because you do it that way, we're not going to respond. Because the way you
Or if we do,
that,
we're going to be like, haha, junk mail, and then just continue on.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a little haha, funny joke
It'll
inserted.
basically just be a sarcastic comment.
Yeah. Or literally just haha, funny joke.
Yeah.
And then us just skipping it.
But, if you're legitimate, you need to actually private message us, because we're going to skip over it and we're not going to respond. Or if you can, make your comment seem more legitimate.
Yeah, like, hey, my name is not like your actual legal name, but like put your username and be like, hey, just wondering if y'all like to talk. Here's my Twitter handle or whatever.
Yeah.
And like we could get to you at some point. And if this goes way out of proportion and we get super famous for some reason, then
but we wake up tomorrow with like 6 million views.
I really hope not. I really hope this takes a gradual leap, and not cool.
No,
like,
we just wake up with like 10 million fucking subscribers.
I mean, to be honest, we've kept up the view per hour rate.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It's only since maybe 14 hours.
Yeah.
It stopped. But, like, other than that, it's not that bad. Actually,
Yeah.
do we have any subscribers? Let me check that.
I don't think so, at least.
Yeah, no, we don't. But, anyway.
Oh yeah. By the way, like and subscribe, hit the like button.
I fucking hate you. I hate you with all of my soul right now. If you don't want to, don't do it. Like, to be completely honest, if you don't want to do it, don't even look at it.
Okay, so I was the joke. I had to do it because he brought it up.
I hate it so much, and he knows it.
Yeah, I do too. I had to do it because you mentioned it, and I had to say it.
Oh, it makes me cringe every single time somebody says it.
But
I can't help but do it, you know?
But if you do want to keep up, at least hit the bell icon, at very least.
You'd have to press the subscribe button to do that.
But,
Maybe if you just want to save one of our videos in a playlist and come back to it every once in a while. Maybe that would help us a little bit.
Because, also, we're way open to fucking lore fiction. Because if somebody wants to make a lore about us, that's gonna be funny as shit.
That's weird.
No, that's funny as shit.
It's funny as shit, but it's weird. You might like it. I'm not open to those suggestions.
But, like, we just have a fan.
Jacob and Jerome. They just make this unrealistic version of us and put it into picture form. Just to let you know, we're both overweight and look like we should probably be... Well, he looks like he should be about 40. I look... Like, not to be rude, but I look like I'm supposed to be what, maybe
It
in my
looks,
late
it looks
30s.
like a pedophile and a child.
Yes. Kind of like his uncle. Well, no, he mostly just looks like a pedophile. Either way.
Like my uncle?
Yeah, the one that you're staying with. Well, sorry, fuckwit. That's what we call him.
Yeah. Nah, I was gonna mention his name, but I was like,
Yeah, you're still living with him. Once you turn 18 and get your own place, we can...
I mean, her uncle.
He's also a pedophile.
Legitimately.
Yeah, you could say his name. He should be on a sex offender list.
Yeah, Robert, I don't know his last name, but he's a sex offender. Keep an eye out for him. You'll know when he looks like a fucking hillbilly pedophile.
You should probably name what state he lives in.
Well, I don't want to because it's near us.
Oh, so it's in Texas.
Yeah.
Well, I said state,
It's in
not city.
Texas, and it's about 5 hours from our location. Not 5 hours. It's far, but it's close.
And please don't try to figure out who we are. We are underage minors, and if you do that, we will get legal help from our parents.
Shank.
Or, do what he just did and make a fake shank and just start hitting you in the stomach. But,
anyway, let's continue on that fucking thing real quick.
yeah, we only have like 10, maybe
Okay, so,
30 minutes left.
we are trying to help, or basically, we are trying to get better equipment to start doing this.
Yeah, I'm getting a computer coming in within the next, 5 days?
It should be tomorrow or today.
It
should be.
That's the earliest it will come in.
Yeah.
It should be in within the next 5 days,
Yeah.
at the very most.
Wait, when is it supposed to come in the latest?
August 4th. And 30th, 31st, 1st,
When is
2nd,
that?
3rd, 4th. It's...
Because if it does, I can see about coming back just to help you set it up.
I think
and everything.
Friday? It's August 4th
Because I'm not staying till
at
Saturday.
the very latest. It's a Wednesday.
Okay.
So it's going to be in the middle of the week.
Worst case, you'd have to call me up and...
Worst case scenario, I'll at least send you pictures and be like,
Yeah.
hey, does this look good? Like,
Yeah. But I hope it comes in March so I can get it out of the way.
yeah. But anyway, I was looking up mics today, so we hopefully are going to get better mics.
Yeah.
Also,
just telling you, don't go with a fucking Blue Yeti. Because there are some that are
no,
cheap.
I'm literally just going to get
there
a
are some-
cheap microphone.
No, there's actually really good quality cheap ones that are cheaper than Blue Yetis. They're like $50, and they're
So I was thinking of the lower end, so we could just have one each, and it would be sitting right here, and maybe you could.
No, I'm saying for like later on.
Oh yeah, for later on, we're definitely gonna get better, high quality mics.
Yeah. I think we should get. Guys, if y'all want to help, give us a list of stuff we might need.
We might make a Patreon just so you can like support
Yeah,
us
I
or
was gonna
whatever.
say.
But just make a list if you want to. You could send it to us on our
And
Twitter
if you
handle
would, yeah.
or whatever.
We will. I don't know how Patreon works. We're gonna look at it after this.
Yeah.
But we might make sections for microphones. What?
If that doesn't work, we're just making a living.
No,
It's just our podcast.
Yeah.
So like, what? Why can't I see it? Why is there just a picture of raspberries? We should do that for every episode just to fuck with people. Which episode is this? I can't tell. I cannot tell.
Let's not do that. Actually,
Yeah,
no, we
let's
should
not
do
do
the first frame as raspberries, and then
Yeah,
that's our opening sequence, and then we'll get better.
just
at
for
editing.
the intro, it's just raspberries.
No, when we get better at editing, we should have the bdussy podcast.
Yeah. Or when, you. Sorry, I saw something on Instagram. But, even if you just get, what is it, Blender? You could probably make a logo on that.
Yeah.
And then,
I have Blender actually.
yeah, that's what I was talking
I
about.
literally could just throw it on a fucking boot drive, or not boot drive, but thumb drive, and bring it.
Yeah, I could load it up onto this one. This one can be our,
Yeah, but when we do
Editing
that, we're
one.
gonna literally wipe everything from it.
no, this could just be our editing.
I know, but I'm saying we're gonna wipe everything like games and stuff. Just so
Oh,
we can
yeah.
tell-
We're definitely gonna switch over the
Wait,
recording stuff over to a...
shit, we don't do videos. But when we do videos, I have a camera, like an actual good camera.
You see, we weren't gonna do that for, what, another year and a half? A year and 2 months?
Well, when we start doing for us, and it's probably got a better quality mic than that too.
To be completely honest, probably. My phone probably has a better mic than this.
Probably. Yeah,
Since that's so old.
sorry if the quality is really bad. We were just testing out to try the computer this time.
Yeah, because we had as we said, we might have had a guest come on tonight, and sadly we didn't because he was doing something.
Yeah.
But,
hopefully, or next episode, which should be recorded later today, because it's the 30th.
yeah, possibly later today should be on my phone.
Either later today or in a few minutes, one of the two.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure I have to wake up pretty early tomorrow, though, to help my mom clean, because they're coming over.
But yeah, hopefully tomorrow it should be on your phone. We should see if Jay and B can come on.
We probably should. See if they want to come on for a minute while they're over here. But I still don't know what time they're coming over.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna try to stay till like tomorrow night.
Tomorrow's only Friday though, or today's is Friday.
Yeah.
So we could stay until.
Well, she's having that separation anxiety starting to kick in.
Oh. Okay.
And then my aunt has to do some stuff tomorrow in the morning, so I won't be able to leave till like the afternoon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, this has been the second episode of
The bdussy Podcast.
You might want to say a little bit louder.
The bdussy Podcast!
There we go. This has been the second episode. What should we name this one? The Technology Freaks?
No, bombs, technology.
Technology, Bombs, and Wolf.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been the second episode of
The bdussy Podcast.
And we'll see you next time.